Good morning, gifted crafters. It's crafting time.
Me and my friends are having a great time. It's not face to face, it's all online. We're all in our homes, miles away. Love them like my family, what can I say? My crafting show is on, it's my time for me. Laughter, tips and tricks, this is what I need. We're here to have fun, we're all in the zone. When crafting with friends, you'll never...
Live from the Sunshine State in Miami, Florida, here is the Gifted Crafters Morning Show with Nancy.
Let's have a good time. Ooh, time to get our craft on. Ooh, time to have fun. Ooh, time to feel good.
Good morning, Gifted Crafters, and welcome back to the Gifted Crafters Morning Show. Good morning out there. We've got people tuning in from all over the place, so let's say hello to them out there. Hello from Philly. Yay, we've got Joyce Philly is in the house. We've got Robin from Maryland. Good morning to you. Let's see here. I saw Michigan go by. Good morning to Heather, Annette, Maureen, Crafty Puerto Rican, Karen, Hope, Baker McFake. Good morning. From Australia, we have Roz. Good morning. You're getting out of bed and headed for the coffee pot. Good morning to you, Harriet. Good morning to Cindy. Today's her 47th wedding anniversary. Wow, yay, that's amazing. Congratulations. Yay. Awesome. That's amazing. Hey, Annette from Connecticut. Good morning. We've got just, all kinds of people from all over the place. So the weather just varies wherever you are. And I am tuning in from South Florida here. And today it looks like the sun has come out. And I'm hoping that we have a mostly dry day today because it's just been raining almost every single day here. So I'm looking forward to a little bit of sunshine. Awesome. Hey, Jenny, good morning. You're here at work and you came in early. Oh boy, you'll be listening. Okay, no problem. Awesome.
Hey, Heather's.
Oh, wow, today's your daughter's 17th birthday to Heather, so happy birthday to her daughter. Yay! Happy birthday to her. Hope she's got a fantastic day planned out and she has a wonderful time. Awesome. We've got Leslie from Lake Ridge, Virginia. Good morning to you. Good morning to Lisa as well, and Hope. Okay. Awesome. Well, we've got people from tuning in from all over, and this is just a daily show. And if you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Nancy with GiftsHQ, and this is just our daily show to talk about anything crafty. And we range from quilting, sewing, and we do a lot of knitting and crocheting projects too. And we haven't talked about that for a while, but now that the season has kicked in, we want to do a couple of things, and I want to show you some of my toys here and favorite things that I have and a couple of projects, and I'll see if I can inspire you to kind of join me and doing a couple little projects now and then, because we still love to sew and we love to quilt, but we also love to knit and crochet as well. And if you are not a knitter or not a crocheter, you don't know how that works, I'm going to show you some options that you can have, and you can still make some fantastic projects even if you don't know how to knit. And it's okay. So, alrighty, yay. So everyone's saying happy birthdays, and I see the happy anniversaries going in. Lots of congratulations, and that's wonderful. We have an awesome community. So if you are here for the first time, go ahead and jump into the chat and say hello, because our community is awesome. We love to help each other out, and we really just got each other's back. You know, new products come around, we like to inform everyone. If you're stuck on something, we try to help as well. You know, this is really, really nice. So now it's time to kind of get out of your little comfort zone and just try something new. So hopefully I'm going to inspire you to do that today. Alrighty, you haven't knitted or crocheted in a few years, Robin. Yay! Oh, Faker Big Face says, please teach me, Nancy. You're going to be amazed at how easy it is. And let's say you have an Etsy shop, or maybe you have a craft fair coming up, or some simple gifts you're looking for. You can definitely do that with some of these machines. Oh, good morning. So Scrapping Like a Lady, she's in Ecuador. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Awesome. Well, well, you're just a little traveler, aren't you? Awesome. Well, thanks for tuning in. I hope you're having a fantastic time. Nice. Okay, so I think we are ready to go. And the first thing that we always do in our show is to have our little toast. So grab a cup of whatever it is that you have in the morning. There's no judgment here. Coffee, tea, soda, water, whatever it is you have in the morning. Go ahead and raise your glass. And if you don't have something, don't worry. I'll go ahead and pour you a cup. We want to raise our glasses to have a fantastic day today. And hopefully you guys will get some crafting in today, and I hope you have a wonderful day. So let's raise our glasses to that, and I'm going to go ahead and get a little swivel myself. Oh boy, that feels great. So I start my day with some ice water, and then I kind of move into the coffee and everything else after, but got to get the water in. Water, water, water. It's very important for your health. Okay, awesome. Oh, Faker McFay, she's ready for this for her coffee. Okay, so now that we've got our little drink in place, I know you guys want your little snacks. You're very interested in what's on my desk. Oh, don't worry, I've got tons to show you. My desk is kind of overflowing here a little bit, and I know you see some of the stuff here, but it's just like, oh my gosh, there's stuff everywhere that I want to show you, and I just kept pulling more and more things that I wanted to show you. So I'm going to try to go as quick as I can to get through it all. So let's see how far we get here, because I've got some stuff down here on the bottom that you don't even see too. Okay, so we've got our drinks. Let's go get our snacks, because we've got our food cart that we've got to do some walking today, right? So let's give our little stretch. Go ahead and walk over to your food cart over here. We've got everything on the food cart. Coffee, tea, soda, water, muffins, pancakes, eggs, bacon, anything. Oh yeah, we even have the drone delivery. So don't forget to put your orders in so you can get your virtual snacks. And best of all, they're free and calorie free as well. Alrighty, yay. You got the orange juice this morning and a blueberry bagel. Nice, good for you. Okay. Alrighty, so we've got our snacks, we've got our drinks, and I hope you're in your cozy spot, or at least a safe place to watch. So let's go ahead and get started, because I do have a lot of things to cover today. Okay, so we're going to talk about knitting, crocheting, and before we get into the specifics on the machines and how we knit and things like that, let's just go briefly over some different details on yarn itself. Okay, so if you're new to the whole knitting and crocheting, it can be quite confusing when you're first starting out. There's so many things to choose from. There's so many products out there. It can be very confusing, and I think crocheting and knitting is more of something that kind of gets passed down from generation to generation. It's very rare when I see someone who learns just from a book or from the class, because a lot of people get inspired by someone, either a family member or a friend that got them inspired to go ahead and start to crochet or knit. And I can say that that's kind of what happened with me. You know, my mom is a big time crocheter. She's crocheted most of her life. And she doesn't do knitting, she does do crocheting. But I kind of started with the crochet and was interested in the knitting too. So one of the things that I started to do to kind of help me out to start learning how to hand knit, along with me learning how to knit itself and taking courses and things like that, I got machines. And so there's knitting machines that are out there, and I'll show you a couple of different options that are out there, and then we can kind of move on to the projects that you can do. And I'm going to share some of the projects that I have from over the years, and then we can kind of take a look at those. So first off, let's talk about the yarn. We're going to go into the yarn here. So first I want to start off, we're going to start with the weight categories. The yarn has different weights, right? We start from the weight of 0 and it goes up to, I've seen 6 and even 7. 0 would be the thinnest yarn that you can find, and that's what I'm showing you right here. So this is one that's called Aunt Lydia's. It's a classic 10. This is a pretty big bundle. You can get them smaller, but since you know we've got a lot of crocheters and knitters here, we get the big ones. And you can see here that this particular yarn, when you kind of tilt them over to the side, each yarn has some information for you. So here it's telling you 0 and it says lace. So that is telling you the weight category of this specific yarn. And if you've seen any of the projects that I've shared that my mom does, this is particularly the yarn that she likes to use. And you can see how thin, if I can grab one, trying to grab just one thread here, not two. Okay, here we go. So you can see how thin that yarn is. Now, I find it a little difficult to crochet with it. I don't understand how my mom does it because it is really thin, kind of a little hard on the eyes, but she manages to do it. And she's, you know, she's up there in age, but she's just so used to it, she doesn't even look. Her hands just kind of, you know, do it out of muscle memory. So this is the type of yarn that will give you really delicate little things. My mom does tablecloths, dollies, bedspreads, all kinds of things that you would see really delicate like items. So that's what this yarn is. And so if you are interested in doing those types of projects, you know, this is the category that you want to look for. Of course, they come in all different colors and stuff and whatnot. So I'm going to set this over to the side, and then we're going to talk about some other yarns, and these are kind of some more that you can find out there, and they're pretty easy to find because the weight categories are more popular. You used to make table scarves with that. Awesome. Yeah, definitely. My mom's done lots of dollies and table runners and things like that. Yeah. Definitely. That's what you use, number 10. Yeah. I find it to be difficult. Like I am more of a knitter on the more bulkier yarns because I like to make the scarves and the hats and the little stuffies and things like that. So my yarn is a little bit thicker. I did kind of fumble around with lace yarn. I just found it difficult for me. And I think it's just because I'm so used to working with bulk yarn. And then when my mom tried to knit on the bulkier yarn, she found it difficult because she's so used to knitting on the lace yarn. So it's kind of interesting how your body kind of just, you know, remembers to work on a specific type of yarn. That's what my grandmother used to crochet with. I knit with sock yarn. Yeah, Flo, it's so many different types of yarn with the weight categories. I mean, it's amazing what you can do and how it ranges. Now, you can do one pattern and it'll look completely different on a lace yarn than it would on, let's say, a medium weight yarn. Okay, so then we kind of bump up into other categories. You have 0, which is, again, the lace category. You have your 1, which is like your super fine yarn. And so they start to go up, the numbers go up, and the yarn gets a little thicker and thicker and thicker as you go. So we're gonna jump up, excuse me, we're gonna jump up to, we're gonna jump up to the next category, which is a light category. So this is 3. It's a number 3 weighted yarn. And so this is again what the label will look like. And here's another popular one. A lot of people kind of look at these as baby weight yarns. And so they'll make little baby blankets for the babies. And so you'll see this type of yarn. As you can see, it is a little bit thicker, but not too thick. And you can still make lots of delicate items with this. So that's what it's considered as another category for you. Okay. Oh, you know, I wanted to kind of take a minute and thank Heather. Yesterday, after we ended our live yesterday, Heather bought me some coffee. And I wanted to say thank you so much to Heather. I really appreciate that. I thought that was really cool. Thank you again. We saw that after the live, but I will definitely be putting your name on the board. But the little picture that we had was on our other computer, so we weren't able to print it out this morning. But we're going to go back and get that image so that we can add you to the board. So yay, thank you so much, Heather. I really appreciate that. Was really, really sweet. Now, she stated this was for my new machine fund. So hint, hint, here we are. Day 2. We're going to keep talking about that, right? We'll just keep mentioning it over and over, right? Let's see if it sticks, right?
It's too early in the morning, Nancy.
Anyway, just wanted to say thank you, Heather, because I do see you're on and in the chat. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. Okay, so we're just going to continue and speed up through the categories. So again, you've got your lace, you've got your super fine, you've got your fine, and then you've got your light category, which was the next popular one that I just showed you that a lot of people use for baby weights. Now you have your medium weight. So you've got 4 as a medium weight, and this is one that is super popular, especially if you have these knitting machines. And this is one brand that I really love to do with my knitting machine. It works really well with my machines. And every machine, you got to kind of find what yarn or brand really works well with your machine. Because sometimes you'll get these brands that really won't work well with the machine, and you'll get some drop stitches and tuck stitches and things like that. But as long as you know how to fix them, you'll be fine, but it can be a little bit annoying. So kind of look to see what works with your machine. Okay, so this one here, this one's called I Love This Yarn, and this one is a weight category of, where did I just see it? And now I lost it. Here you go. So this is a medium weight, and it's super tiny, so you can't see it very well, but there it is. It's a medium weight number 4, and this one is 100% acrylic. And so it's got that blend of all of these colors on here, which is pretty cool. And I've used this one before, and it does some beautiful scarves and hats. And I love the blend of the colors of the fall seasons that are starting to come out now. You'll see them in the stores. They kind of stock up on these fall colors, but they go pretty fast. So you got to kind of grab as many as you need. Now for a scarf, I would recommend probably about 3 of these. You can do a hat with 1.
Nancy, 1 second.
Yeah?
Evelyn has something very important to say.
Uh-oh. What is Evelyn saying? That's not, don't bully Mr. H. Oh, no.
Listen to Evelyn.
Well, we don't bully here. We're just suggesting, you know, we're just throwing out ideas that, you know, can happen out there in the future, right? New machines are always a good thing. Come on, Evelyn. All right. So yeah, so we've got this yarn that this one is one that it's one of my favorites. It's one that I use a lot on my machines. The medium weight really works well with the knitting machines, but if you're doing things by hand, you know, you don't have to use a medium weight. Now we've got some others, and let me just pull a couple others here that I have out of my bag here. And this was one that I actually found And I thought, wow, I couldn't believe they actually had this. So another brand that's out there is Red Heart Super Saver. You usually pick them up like at the Walmart. I actually found this huge bundle, huge, really huge, at the Dollar Tree. And it was $5, but nice size. I was really happy that they're actually carrying the brand Red Heart. And they also have them in the small, little bundles here. So you can see this is still a medium weight. It is a number 4, and they come in all kinds of different colors, right? So I was really happy that I found these. And then you can also get some that have like little speckles on them. And so again, this is again the medium weight one here, number 4, and you can see them with the speckles. These are kind of my favorite to do, ones that have little speckles like this. They really come out nice on little scarves and whatnot. And I'll show you a few examples of some of the projects that I have. Then you kind of continue to go up the line. And so after the medium weight, which is the number 4, as you get into your bulky, which is number 5, you got your super bulky, which is number 6, and then you get to number 7, and those are the jumbo yarns. And I had a project, but I think I gave it away since I couldn't find it anywhere. But jumbo is the really thick pieces of yarn. A lot of people they do projects with their hands, and I've done one which is a really big blanket that you don't use any knitting needles or crochet needles. You just do it with your hands, and that one was really cool. And I did that a couple of years ago on one of the videos that I have out there. I mean, I've got tons of videos on knitting and crocheting and with the Addi and Sentro machines. So let's introduce the machines themselves, because that's pretty much the whole range of yarn weights, and that's what kind of determines what type of yarn you're going to select. So you always want to look at the weight category that you're looking to do, and by selecting that, it's going to depend on what project are you doing. Are you doing a baby blanket? Are you making a scarf or a hat? Or maybe you're making a little dolly, or you want something very intricate, and so you go with the lace category. But then if you're using knitting machines, you know that knitting machines mostly will take, it can take number 3 category. They really love number 4 categories. And depending on the machine and the tension, you can get up to your 5, 6, and 7. I would not recommend a 7 at all. 5 and 6, you're going to have some trouble with it, but it can be done. It just needs to be done really carefully on these machines, because the machines can only handle so much. And I think medium weight is the best outcome that I have seen on my machines here. Okay, so what machines are available? What kind of machines is she talking about? So there's 2 that are probably the most popular. Of course, you've got some knockoff brands that are out there as well. But the 2 most popular machines are the Addi machines and the Sentro machines. And I have a video out there that is kind of compares Addi versus Sentro. And it's one of my popular videos that people tend to watch when they're trying to decide which type of machine to buy. Now, first big difference is the price. I can tell you that the Addi machine is much more expensive, but I can tell you that the way the Addi machine is designed and made, I think it is a more quality machine. If you're looking for a real long term, I would honestly suggest the Addi. But for the Sentro, if maybe you're just gonna do a couple of projects here and there and you want to kind of stick to your budget, then the Sentro machine would be a better buy too. So let's take a look at both of them really quick. I've got my Sentro machine right here, and this is a knitting machine, very similar to the Addi. I've got 2 sizes on my Addi here. I've got the Addi 46 pin needle machine, and this is the Sentro 48 pin needle machine. Now, difference between the 2 is about 1 inch. So it's, it also dependent on your tension, right? Because if you have a very tight tension, then you're going to see about 1 inch of difference between the 2 machines, because this one has a couple more pins than this But if your tension is medium to loose, you're not going to see too much of a difference. It's really not that bad. Now, Sentro does have the counter, although they have, a lot of people have comments that the counter stops working after a while. I've seen it do that myself, but there are other things and counters that you can buy off to the side, digital counters that will replace that, or you can also count it by hand. Wouldn't recommend counting it by hand. Just my experience, you always get interrupted and then you forget what row you're on. So either get, if you're going to do the Sentro and you're going to do a lot of knitting, I would suggest to get the digital counter that you can purchase off to the side. The counter worked well for me for about at least over a year, and then it started to kind of falter. So they do kind of go bad after a while on this one. The other thing that they have for the Sentro is a lot of people were complaining about the little suction cups. This one doesn't come with any clamps or anything that you can clamp to your machine. However, they've recently come out with other machines that now allow you to clamp them to the machine. And they also have an adapter that I do have, and I'll probably pull it out another day. It's just an adapter that you can get that will allow you to clamp it to your machine. So just another purchase that you would have to make, unfortunately, to get that done. So Sentro machines are great. I think they're a lot of fun. They the cost is a lot less on this one, and they pretty much work the same way, just going around. You can do knitting on the round, but you also have a setting on the side to change it to panel that'll allow you to just make panels instead. So you've got both options on here. And the other thing that the Sentro has that the Addi doesn't is, of course, the tension here. The Sentro machine does come with the tension, and it allows you to have 3 different options for you to choose from for your tension. So that is the Sentro machine. I'm going to put that one over to the side because I do have kind of a favorite. I do like my Addi machine. So I'm going to come over here and work with the Addi here. And tomorrow we're going to make a project. We're going to make a little beanie on our machine. And I think that will be a lot of fun. And I'll show you exactly how to start working on them. They're so easy to do. And you can make so many different projects. So here's the Addi machine. Again, this is 46 pins. Big difference here. You do not have a tension on here. The tension is controlled by your hand. However, of course, there are other purchases that you can make that you can add your tension to the machine. So that is available out there to buy. So you can do that as well. It does have a counter, and I can tell you for many years that I've had this machine, my counter has never faltered. The machine is just a better made machine. It's kind of designed more for heavier duty, and you can see here everything works pretty much the same. Your handle is a little bit different. And so you will go ahead and turn that. It does the knitting on the round, and it also does the panel as well with the little switch on the side to allow you to change it to a panel. Which size do you recommend starting with? Harriet, I'd have to say I would start with the larger machine, only because you want to be able to do, most people start off doing beanies and scarves. And for those projects, you do need the larger one. The smaller one I actually got later on, because then you start to make other things like little plushies and other things that are for kids. And I'll show you some examples of what I made with each one so you can see the different things that you can make. But really great, you know, for all kinds of projects. There's some projects where you work with both sizes, right? You may do one part in the 46 pin needle machine, and then you do the second part with the smaller machine, and then you put the two together after. So, you know, there's different things that you can do, but I can tell you the machines are awesome. They're just so much fun. And, you know, once you cast on, you really have to pay attention to your cast on, because that is the kind of base of your project. After that, you're pretty much just turning and letting the machine do its thing and watching your counter and just checking in case you get tuck stitches or drop stitches and things like that that you can fix along the way. So you will definitely, it's a nice relaxing thing. You can kind of pop in a movie and just keep on cranking. There's other things that you can get also. You can get the attachment where you can use a very light powered drill. You do not want just any regular drill. This must be a very low powered drill. So it's not going to go too fast. And it comes with this little adapter here that you can add onto your screwdriver. And then this is going to go ahead and turn the handle for you. So if you get tired of turning it, you can get this little adapter and then you can have it like this and just press the button and have it turn for you. So those are other options that you have. Now, I've seen on the market a couple other ones. An older one that they had, it didn't have great reviews where it was electric, but the reviews were not that great. I've seen more recently that they have come out with another one, and that one seems to be working a lot better. So when you're going out to check for these, if you're looking for that electric one, check the reviews and make sure that machine is okay, because I've seen some that were not so great. I honestly just recommend the one with the handle, and then if you want, you can get this low powered drill. So screwdriver, sorry, I keep saying drill, it's a screwdriver. but that's just me. I think, you know, it works a lot better this way. I think the parts on this machine are made to last a little bit longer, and I think it's just a more sturdy machine. I do also like that you are able to clamp these down, so the little legs on the machine allow you to clamp it down to your table so that you can kind of be a little bit more hands-free. So on the Sentro machine, because it has the little suction cups, sometimes they pop off, and so you have to kind of hold the machine while you're cranking. So not really the best thing, but like I said, there's options that are out there that will allow you to add things to your Sentro machine so that it does kind of clamp down and you don't have that. But that is an additional purchase there. So for the Addi machine, they do come with clamps, and I'll go through my little box here. This is what the clamps look like. They give you 2 of them, and you just kind of clamp them on to the leg, and then you just go ahead, and it's got the little screw here, and you just adjust that to your table. So it'll take any thick table or thin table, you just adjust the clamp as you go. That'll secure it to the table so the machine will not move, and then you're pretty much hands-free to kind of hold on to that tension and crank away. So lots and lots of things that you can make with these things, and they're very easy to use. So I'm going to set this over to the side here, and I'm going to share with you a couple of the projects that I've done. Cindy says, does it matter if you're left-handed or right-handed? Good question. The cranking on the Addi machine, I set it like this where the counter is facing me, and then I go ahead and crank with my right hand, but I am left-handed. But you can turn it this way and then crank like this. It's just the counter is going to be on the other side, so it'll be a little more difficult. You'll just have to get up or tilt it to see where you're at. So I prefer to kind of do it this way. It does not allow you to switch the handle to the other side, so you would have to turn your machine. So yeah, I kind of just, I'm so used to doing it this way, and all you're doing is just cranking, so it's not too bad. But if, you know, that does become a problem, you can always flip the machine over and then just kind of check your counter every now and then. There's also digital counters that you can buy for this one too, right? So if that's an issue and you want to turn it this way, you can get another counter and set that counter here, so you could see it over here as well. So it's kind of up to you how you want to do it. But yeah, those are some options that you have. Okay, so that is the 46 pin machine. And oh, have you had your machine very long? Oh yes, I've had my machines, let's see, gosh, when did I get these machines? it's been a few years that I've had this machine. I don't remember exactly when, but it's been a number of years, and I can say I've really given a lot of use to these machines. They've gone through a lot, especially the Addi machines. Like I said, they are really designed really well. The mechanics of the machine, the interior parts, I think they're really well designed. You can purchase pins in the event that you accidentally break a pin or something. You can purchase pin and replace the pins. You don't have to buy a whole new machine. The Sentro is probably easier on the budget. The pins can also be purchased separately for the Sentro as well. But again, the Addi for me, it's really kind of like the better machine, I think. But you do get really nice results on both the Sentro and the Addi. It's just if you do a lot of knitting on these, I think your Addi is going to be the better bang for your buck because it's going to be used for a longer period of time, and the mechanics of the knitting machines are designed just a little bit better. So yeah. Okay, wouldn't it be rotating in the opposite direction? Okay, so if you are knitting on the round, it will continue to go in one direction, okay? But if you are, and you can kind of turn the other way as well, if you like to turn this way, so you can go either way. But if you are working on a panel, so the panel, when you set it to the panel mode, you will start to crank and the machine will stop, okay? And it will not allow you to go any further. So right now I do have it set on the panel mode, and there's a little switch that you can flip up and down. That'll give you the panel. Let me just show you what that looks like. So this is set. Ooh, can I get that glare out? Here we go. This is set to the panel, or they call it plain knitting. Let's see if I can get this to stop. There we go. That's plain knitting, and then on the bottom is circular knitting. Okay, so plain knitting would be like your panels. So for panels, I'll show you what that looks like when you're making a panel. I've got a couple here. So this is just a plain panel. And you can see here, it kind of curls up on the edges, and that's okay because this is just a panel. It's not anything yet, but you can see the stitches that come out nice and clean, and your edges are really nice as well. Now flip it so you can see the back as well. Okay, and it does a really nice stitch on here. Very, very beautiful stitch. And so here's another one with a different yarn. And you can see that. Very nice knitting that it does. And these are panels. And so you're wondering, well, what would we do with these panels? There's just so many things that you can do. So first you can kind of think of them as little quilt blocks, right? So you can take the different ones that you make and kind of put them together to make one big blanket, right? That's one thing that you can do. Other people have made sweaters with these. So each panel, if you think of the more popular quilt coats that are coming out now, they're made with little panels. So you can see the panels here getting all put together. And so each panel will represent a piece. It can be the sleeve. It can be, you know, the front part, the back. And so you'll make different panels and then kind of put them all together to create your sweater. There's just so many different things. But Tita said, I made 12 hats on my Sentro in one day. Oh, yes. I did a little video one time that you can make a beanie in less than 30 minutes. That was fun. We had a little timer and everything. So that was really a lot of fun. Another rabbit hole. Thanks, Nancy. Yeah, I mean, they're a lot of fun. They're really a lot of fun. The beanies, I mean, you can just crank out a bunch of beanies in no time. They're so simple to do. is the panel mode for scarves. You can do the panel mode for scarves, but you can also make the scarves on the circular as well. So the scarves can be made by then just kind of doing a panel and then joining the two together. Obviously, it'd be all the same colors and you can just cut them all that way. Or you can do it on the round. I think on the round is a little bit easier for scarves, and I'll show you a couple that I've made myself. So let's bring out some of these projects. I'm going to move over the machine in just a bit, and I am going to see if I can pull my little bag out, and I've got a bunch of them in here. So let me set this over to the side here, as well as my little clamps. And I've got a couple others accessories to show you as well, things that you would do working with these machines. So we've got a big one here. I like the sweater vest. Would that be a project? Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely, Cindy. Definitely you can make sweater vests. There's just so many things that you can make. I mean, let me share a couple, give you some examples, to give you some ideas. And I'll start kind of, see if I can work my way from the bottom up. I'm kind of empty out my bag here. I've got a few here, and a lot of them I tend to give away to family members that live up north, because a lot of the stuff that I'll do is a lot of the scarves and hats and things like that. Now the sweaters, I've kind of started off on the sweaters, and I have one that's kind of in progress, but I haven't really fully done it myself. Let's see. Well, why does it stop on the panel mode? Okay, so on the panel mode, and where did I put my panel here? Let me pull that back out. So it'll stop on the panel mode because the way that machine works, in order to make this panel here, the way it's working is you're going to continue to crank and then it'll stop. And then what you do is you go in reverse and then you crank the other way. And then it'll stop again, and then you crank back the other way. So you're going back and forth, back and forth. And that's what's creating the panel. And it has to stop it, because if it doesn't, then you're going to be knitting in the round. And so it's going to join the two ends together. And so in order for you to make that panel, the machine sets that mode and it'll have you stop and then reverse back the other way. So you're stitching kind of like going back and forth. And that's how you are adding your rows onto your panel. So that's why it's doing that. If you have it set to the round and you kind of move the little lever to the bottom where it says circular knitting, then it's just going to continue to keep going round and round, and you will end up with your little rounded thing, and it'll be all connected, right? So let me show you just a couple examples of that. So these are the panels. Here's one of, oops, I dropped one here. Here we go. Here is one of the examples, and this is just a beanie. So a little hat here. This one was just a fun. It was one of these ones where I kind of changed the colors on here. And so we've got red and white, red and white, red and white. And so I just, changed the colors. And then in the end, I added the green. And then so what I did on this one is, once I was done with the beanie itself here, then I added the little pom-pom to it. And there's all kinds of different pom-poms that you can either make one of your own with the same yarn, or you can just purchase the pom-poms and then just attach them to your beanie. So here's one, just kind of like Grinch inspired, right? So we've got the red, the white, and the green. And you can see here on the inside, all green here. And then on the flap is where I transition the colors. And you can see it's right on that rim right here. And so when you fold it up, you don't even see where the colors join. And it just kind of flips over to the green, and then you have the red and white. So were these made on your larger machine? Yes. Yes, Susan. These were made on either the Addi or the Sentro. I don't know which one was which, because they kind of both come out the same. So this was one that I was able to make on the machine. Another one, and this was using right off the bat, I can tell you this is a medium weight, and it's 100% acrylic that I can tell just from the feel of the yarn itself. So that's one that can be made. And then you can go to a different type of yarn, and this is one that is blended. And so we saw one of the yarn examples I showed has a blend of all the colors. And so this one here is just the simple beanie without the little pom-pom here. And you can see here, this is what it comes out to. And then you just kind of fold it up for the rim. And, you know, they've got some beautiful blends of fall colors and Christmas colors that are out there. So there's nice things that you can kind of, you know, change it up and just kind of see the different ones you can make. Mariana said, how do you put the panels together or close the beanie? I'm allergic to hand stitching. I'm told there's no medication to fix a problem. So for the beanie, the only thing you need to do is pull the strings at the end, and you will tie it, basically do a little knot. And that's what's going to cinch your beanie top. And you can see on the top here, you see kind of resembles like a little bit of a star. That's because you're pulling the beanie. And let me see if I can, you can see right here, I've got a little knot right here. Okay. And that's what's just kind of hold it together. And so it kind of works in there, and then that's it. Once you have done your cast on and your cast off and you've cranked out your rows, it's just a matter of pulling it and then doing the little knot here. It's that simple. I mean, we'll do a beanie tomorrow and I'll show you exactly what the steps are, but really, really easy to make. How many skeins of yarn for a medium hat? Just one. For a beanie, you just need one. Just one skein is good enough. If you are doing a scarf, then that's a little bit different. You're going to need more skeins. I would recommend at least 3. But here's another project that was also a beanie, and this was just a lot of fun. This one is using a different technique, but is also done on the machine as well. And you can see here, we start off with the normal knit around on the round, and then we do some wrapping on the needles, and so you can get a different type of design that will come out. And so you'll see that kind of be a little bit different than the regular beanie, so a little bit different of a stitch. And then I added a little bow that I did on the smaller Addi machine, and just to kind of give it a little bit of a, you know, a different little interest to it, because it does just come out like this. So it's a little plain for me. So I went ahead and put a little bow on it, and I thought it was just adorable. Yeah, tomorrow is a no mess day. Oh, yay, I'm glad. I really wasn't sure how you guys are going to take for the knitting, but I'm excited that you guys are really liking this. I hope you guys really try it. It's just really a lot of fun. Learn something every day. Have never seen these knitting machines. I have an old studio machine sitting on a shelf. Oh, awesome. Great. Well, you're going to have a fantastic time doing stuff with us together. Yeah, I mean, they're really, really cute. So let me show you some other things that are not beanies, because a lot of people just think, oh my God, I can just do beanies all day. But yeah, there's so many more things that you can do. Marge says, I bet my elderly mom can. She sure can, because I showed my mom how to do it and she was able to make a beanie. And it's a lot of fun because we get some family members that come over, and sometimes I just bring my knitting machines because, you know, I'm in the middle of doing a lot of projects, and they watch me and they're like, I want to make one. And so I bring out the other machine and I have them cranking away. And at one point we had the table filled with everyone just cranking away on the knitting machine. It was just so much fun. We had a fantastic time. You know, it takes a little bit of practice in the beginning just to kind of understand it. But once you understand your cast on process and you're just cranking away on the rows, you just need to know what row to stop on, right? Because you could just keep going and going. Pop in that movie and you forget you're even cranking, and you're doing that little exercise on your arm, right? So yay, let's get those arm exercises in. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so these are the beanies. Now let's move over. We've got the panels, we've got the beanies. Let's move over to some of the other things that you can do as well. And I've got a few here. Different ones that I've made. let's see. Okay. So here's a couple of others, and these are, some people call them ear warmers, some say headbands. It really depends. Now there's all kinds of different sizes that you can make as well. So this one's the really large one. So here's kind of like a little headband, ear warmer, whatever you want to call it, right? And so you're able to kind of put these on, and of course you can do all kinds of different colors, and you can do this little knotted look in the front. So simple to do, absolutely easy as can be. She makes us use the machine. My arms get a workout. Yes, she does. That is my sister. And she has definitely seen the machines and kind of has those in action. So really, really fun to do. So this is one. Now this one is pretty wide. And so I wanted to go a little bit thinner. So I went and did another one, and you can see the difference here, big difference, right? And so this one I thought was a little better in terms of the size. And so I went ahead and did this one the same way with the knot. And then the back is just a plain, right? And then we also have different colors as well. So you can see it in different colors, and you can make those. And then I decided to go even thinner. So I wanted it to really resemble just kind of like a little headband. And so I did this in a red color. So I thought that was pretty cool. So you've got headbands, you've got beanies, you've got panels. Let's move over to something else. How about some scarves, huh? So there's all kinds of different scarves. And this was one that I made that is a little bit different. And so these scarves, you can make them as long as you want. Now this one I believe was about 3 skeins. And I can tell you just from the scarf here, you kind of put this around. I added a little bit of a loop, and then I added a little button to it. So the way this scarf works is you would just kind of put that inside here, and then you would kind of just adjust it, you know, depending how much you want it to go, kind of cover you around this way. And so if it's really cold, you know, you can do that. And then you would just remove it, and then you're good to go, right? So you can do, these are more of like, kind of like the fancier type ones with the little buttons and things. Let me give you a close-up of that. So here is the end of the scarf. Now on the end of the scarf, I did add a little bit of crochet to it. So I did kind of, you know, add these just to give it a little bit of a visual interest here. Otherwise, this scarf would have just been a square, right? That's how it would come off of your machine, but I wanted to add a little bit more flair to it. So I did add this little crochet. Doesn't take much to do this at all. This can be taught, really super easy to do. Okay, and then on the other side, you can see where it kind of gathers, and let me put it this way so you can see. So it kind of all gathers right here, and then I made a little loop and added it to the project, and then I just added a little button for visual interest as well, right? So the button isn't really used for anything, it's really just for the design. And then you have the loop, which is where I'm going to take the scarf and just kind of pull it through the loop here. And you can just pull it all the way down, and you can see here how that kind of helps out. And so you've got this kind of scarf, or you can just do your plain scarf that's just, you know, like the tube going all the way around. Barbara says, my 7-year-old granddaughter would love this. Yes, yes. And little kids, you know, they can do this. This is so easy. You can really do this. It's just really, really a lot of fun. And they can get really into it and make all kinds of things. But we've got our scarves. We've also have little hoodies that you can make, right? So we've got our scarves, we've got our beanies, we've got our panels, we've got headbands, and then you've got this, which is a little bit different. So this one's kind of harder for me to show you, but you kind of put it over your head, and you have a scarf here on the side, right? So this is the scarf, and this is kind of like a hood. So you've got your scarf over on this end. It's a little difficult for me to show you, but the scarf is here. And then this is kind of like over your head. Let's see if I can do it this way so you can see here. I think that'll show a little better. Okay, so you've got your scarf right here, right? And then you have your hood. So it's like a little hoodie on top. It kind of drapes onto the sides to give you some more coverage, but it's kind of really open. So I think that's pretty cool here, and that'll keep you nice and warm. And of course you can do, this is one of the yarns with the little speckles, and you can see here how that would come out. If you can look on the desk cam, can we get the desk cam? There we go. So you can see the little speckles here, and you can see what that looks like when you are knitting that out. So really, really neat on that. And then there's still more, guys. There's still so much more. You've done a lot of hand knitting and crochet, have never used a knitting machine. Yeah, definitely. But you know, for beginners that are out there, kids, elderly, these are some great tools that you can have out there. So how about making a little purse? Would you like to make a little purse with your knitting machine? Because you can certainly do that as well. So here's another one. Oh, Mr. H, come out from behind the scenes and model it. No, I don't think we're going to get him to do that. But here's a little purse that you can make as well. So I made this with the Addi machine as well. Super easy to do. My gosh, this was done in a day. A lot of these projects are just done in a day. They really are. They're not things that take a very long period of time to do. You can really whip them up in no time. And on here, you've got knitting on the round. So this is on the round, and then you're just joining things, and you can join things with things like a mattress stitch, right? So you would use a mattress stitch to just do the join right here. There's actually a join, and I know you can't really see it, and that's called a mattress stitch. And that's what it's designed to do, is basically join two knits together and kind of hide the stitching so you don't even see it. And you can see how that worked out. And then I just added, of course, for visual interest, I put some beads on here, added a little handle to it. And so you're able to kind of, you know, have your own little bag. And so in here, you've got your little bag inside. You can add a little snap to it if you like to kind of close it, right? You can do that as well. And then here is the back. Okay, so another project that you can do, you can make bags. And then this one was probably the most fun, and these are ones that you can do all the time. And I have a bunch of different ones. I've made little snowmans. I made little teddies for the little kids. Of course, I had to add the little pearl necklace to go with it, right? Making the little teddies, super easy to do. You know, this you can do with a combination of your small Addi machine and the large one. So, you know, some of these projects will use both, some will just use one. But these are things that you can certainly make, and you can add little tags to it in the end as well, just like I did. But really, really easy to do. And this is what a cute little stuffy to give to the little kids, right? And this is really, really neat. Now, you can also purchase little safety eyes. This particular one, it was going, I was aiming for giving this to a really young child, so I did not want to do the safety eyes, even though they say those are good because they do lock in and they don't get out. But I would prefer to just kind of use my yarn, and so I did the little eyes, I did the nose, and the little snout. And so I put all that together. And so you have your little bear that you can put together. So these are all like the little projects that you can make with these machines. Of course, there's all kinds of other tools and things you can get. Like I said, the safety eyes, I've got those that you can get. And if you don't want to do the yarn yourself, of course, you have the little noses and things and eyes and things that you can purchase separately. You also have, and this one I would recommend, they're pretty low price. You can get these little hooks on here. These are just kind of to help you keep count of things and hold things in place. So I think that's another option of little things, and this doesn't cost much at all. And then you've got, you know, your crochet side, and we haven't even touched upon all the different crochet hooks that are out there, and knitting on the round with just the needle, right? You've got, in this case, I've got a bamboo knitting on the round. If you want to hand knit instead of using the machines, you can get these types of needles. This one is specifically bamboo, and you would just knit on the round, and I've got the needle stoppers on here, but this is what they look like. So all kinds of tools, all kinds of things. We're going to focus on the machines, and tomorrow we're going to do a little beanie, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope you can join me for that. So that is it, guys. We are out of time, and we're going to continue this journey because I haven't even touched upon all the other projects that I wanted to show you. So we will continue this tomorrow, and we will actually knit a beanie with one of the machines, and it'll be a lot of fun, and I hope you can join me. So guys, I hope you have a fantastic day, and yes, I see all the comments pouring in, and I hope you guys really enjoyed that. Seems like you all did. Makes me really happy. Thanks again for tuning in with me, and don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the content. Thanks, everyone. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I hope to be crafting with you soon. Bye, everyone.
So long for now, so long. Glad you stayed a while. Hope you liked my crafting style. Hope I left you with a smile. By now, keep your mind and space clutter-free. Hope your day is bright as can be. So long, my friends, till we craft once again. By now, stay crafting. See you tomorrow. So long, my friends, till we craft once again.